more about it. Serve safely.
Dominican drug dealers see New York City as a profitable market, one that they would kill for. At one time, they sneaked in and out of the country, getting away with murder. T.Y. Chang investigates how easy it is to get a passport to kill in a story you'll see only on News Channel 4.
150? For a decade, drug dealers operated like shadows in Washington Heights. They made millions selling cocaine and killed hundreds of competitors and innocent bystanders. Yet many slipped in and out of New York undetected or unreachable. They escaped to the Dominican Republic, where weak extradition laws prevented their return to the United States. And after waiting a few months, some drug dealers sneaked back into the U.S. using false identity papers. The Dominican consulate in Times Square may hold the key to the return of many drug dealers. This is one place, say informed sources. Drug dealers can obtain a second passport under an assumed name. Sources estimate some 100 criminals do so every year.
We received that fax machine.
Julio Valdez worked at the consulate until last month. He says he personally saw the passport section of the consulate accept as proof of citizenship dozens of faxes of birth certificates from unsecured locations in the Dominican Republic. Using a fax machine, any document can be easily altered before being sent.
If you say that a fax is not a proof of authenticity, then that's the case.
This man is one example. Last year, he received from the Dominican consulate in New York passports under two different names. The same man was issued one passport as Demetrio Enrique Morales Suarez and another passport as Juan Eligio Sanchez. Federal records indicate that a Juan Eligio Sanchez, born on March 26 of 1962, was arrested in the Dominican Republic with cocaine and guns. Juan Eligio Sanchez, with the same birthday, is the name used by the man who got the two passports from the Dominican consulate in New York.
También puede pasar.
There's always going to be some people that are going to try to falsify some documents.
Bienvenido Perez is the Dominican Consul General in New York, who has run its consulate since September of 1996.
Aquí no tenemos un control de...
That's not our function, to be investigating the personal life of each individual that comes in.
Mr. Perez claims only original birth certificates are accepted. I asked him, could a person get a married status on a passport just by purchasing the more expensive $200 one?
No tiene que traer...
No, they would have to provide documentation or marriage license.
But this man, we'll call him Pedro, says he did just that, and he's not married.
They would go for the more expensive one, for the $200, they would put in my passport that I was married.
Mr. Perez acknowledges some 50 people a day get passports from the Dominican consulate for $137 to $200 each. American passports are just $65. This consulate is known in the Dominican American community as a cash cow, a money-making machine charging for everything. Consul Perez admits the consul makes $800,000 a year on passports alone.
Extremely expensive. It's an abuse. It's like an insult to the community here.
News Channel 4 has obtained documents indicating the consulate in the past under Mr. Perez has made from $27,000 to $78,000 in one day. Mr. Perez, as Consul General, gets to take a huge portion of that, according to Mr. Valdez.
Every day, Mr. Perez may make over $3,000 in every single day. It could go as high as $5,000.
Consul Perez says our source, Mr. Valdez, the once a close associate, is lying because he was fired. But our source also told us that Bienvenido Perez is not an accredited diplomat. When we called the U.S. State Department's Protocol Division, they said that's true. Bienvenido Perez, according to the U.S. government, is not an accredited diplomat.
Está en proceso y va a ser entregado.
It's in process, and they can't deny it. They can't.
The State Department today again confirmed Mr. Perez has not even applied yet. In fact, the State Department noted several of his top consular officials are not registered diplomats either. If Mr. Perez was transporting large amounts of cash to the Dominican Republic and is not a diplomat, he could be charged with money laundering.
No. Se hace cheque certificado.
Always with certified check.
But News Channel 4 has been told that the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration is interested in Mr. Perez's case and how he's transporting money back to the Dominican Republic. T.Y. Chang, News Channel 4.
Coming up next, will the mild weather give way to clouds?